Frankie de Jong is wanted 100% by Erik ten Hag, who is convinced that Frankie de Jong to Manchester United is what he needs to be, the face of his United project and become their statement signing. This from Fabrizio Romano. There's been a lot of Man United fans that have been downbeat about this deal. Whether it be Frankie de Jong saying that he loves it at Barcelona and that's his dream club, and a massive part of United fans don't want to blow the quote-unquote smallest budget that United have reportedly got this summer. But again, more news transpires, more news comes out that Erik ten Hag wants this deal. This isn't the board going after a commercial signing. This isn't Ed Woodward, who is rejecting what the manager wants, saying, no, you're not getting the player you need. You're going to get what I want. This is being led by none other than the new Manchester United manager. On top of that, there are lots of reports about the financial situation at Barcelona being dire. A need to reduce the wage cap, the cancelling of an investment or the non-investment into CVC, and the club needing to reduce its wage bill and sell players. There's a number of reports. A lot of Barcelona fans are saying they're untrue. A lot of Man United haters as well are saying they're untrue. We're going to delve into it for you right now on the Done Deal Show. Hit that like and share button. Leave us your comments below. And I want to say thank you to everybody that's been sending in the thank yous. Amazing way to donate to the Football Terrace. We really appreciate it here. But let's do this. Let's go. A new report emerged today saying that Xavi has told Frankie de Jong that the Barcelona board have not been particularly happy with his performances and that his departure depended on the economic situation of the club. Now, this is a continued theme, which we have spoken about many times on the Terrace. Point blank, hold my hands up and say Frankie de Jong has said where he wants to be, where he wants to stay, where he wants to conduct himself. I don't think anybody is denying this. And if you are, he said the words. It's there. The evidence is there. We had Ben Jacobs on the show that believes we should take Frankie at his word. He's bought a new multi-million dollar euro place to live. He's happy at the club. He's happy in Barcelona. And it's where he wanted to be. And it's where he wanted to ply his trade. There is no need to question him. There is no need to worry about this deal. It's very much that he's going to stay at Barcelona, but he wouldn't be as confident of staying if Barcelona were looking to sell him. And I said at the time, I'm going to take Ben at his word. However, what I won't do is ignore the news that's coming out, presenting it to you, discussing it, and holding on to that 5 to 10% chance that I've always felt Man United have had of landing him, and that is the economical situation at Barcelona. Now, there was talk about a big investment coming in from the CVC group. Barcelona have now ruled that out. They are sticking to an alternative way of handling the economic system. And a lot of that is to do with reducing the wage bill at the club. It says here that Joan Laporta wants all the players in the Barcelona squad to lower their salaries by up to, this is a slight misquote, but up to 50% to help with the economical situation at the football club. Now, for me, when I look at this, it's an intriguing one indeed. You then move on to this piece of news here that we already just spoke about. The board are almost telling Frankie de Jong that they're not happy with him either. Now, this stands out to me as being a little bit strange in many ways because there's been no talk up until this point of his ability or how he plays, having anything to do with this potential sale. We know that. And it's always been about the economical system. But what better way to push Frankie de Jong away from the club to start publicly questioning and talking about how with big investment, you're not really what we expected you to be. I think these are things that need to kind of be addressed and looked at by the camp. And as I've said all along, I felt United have got a long shot here, a long shot to get this deal done. because I've always felt that Barca would sort their financial difficulties out in one way, shape, or form. It's interesting, though, because even as I'm recording this, and as I say, we don't edit these videos, they're what I call live. I call it live recording because I don't edit anything out. There's a guy, I don't know whether he's a Barca fan or whatever else, but he keeps telling me 110%, okay, that it's going to be okay. He says here that Barca's finances are not okay. Barca pulled out the CVC investment, which is a deal proposed by the league to every club, because they have a better deal with a private bank where they can sell a large percentage of the TV rights, etc. Barca are also on the 16th of June looking to approve by club members to sell 49.9% of Barca's licensing and merchandise, which is worth around 270 million. This does not affect the Frankie de Jong deal, though, in my opinion. I genuinely believe that Barca want to sell de Jong, regardless of the financial situation, for two reasons. His performances in a Barca shirt have been inconsistent, and two, the board believes that if he has another mediocre season, his value will drop. But that's an interesting take as well, because it's almost like the financial element is being defended, but they still think he's going to be moved on. That's going to change everybody's opinion on everything. And that's what I find really interesting, because that's been sent through to me privately. We've seen this news that's come out today that Xavi, the board are telling him, actually, maybe they're not to be trusted here. Maybe not to be trusted. Maybe it isn't just about the finances. We don't really want you either. A lot of Man United fans will then focus on, well, is he actually good enough for us? If Barca don't want him, do we? And I'm just going to go back to this right now. Erik ten Hag is 100% convinced about Frankie de Jong. He wants the player to be the face of his Man United project and become their statement signing. That, for me, is what's huge about this. And it's why that 5 to 10% of me, this entire time, I haven't allowed myself to go, this is 100% not happening. I've not been able to do it. I've not been able to drop this thought in the back of my mind that there has to be a chance. And the reason there has to be a chance is I cover too many transfer stories. I've watched too many transfer processes. Man United are continuing to negotiate with Barcelona. We're willing to pay around 60 million. They want 80-ish. There'll be add-ons probably included at some point, raising the deal to 70, 80, 85 million. But it will be Player of the Year awards, as in Premier League, PFA sort of level, football writers, whatever it may be. There'll be league titles. There'll be certain amount of Champions League qualification, whatever it may be. United will want to be paying that out when they're winning something substantial. It's the same a little bit with the Timber deal. We want to pay around 30. Ajax on about 40. There'll probably be add-ons included at some point in that. But very rarely do football clubs chase after a player with no hope of getting them. I know Man United have famously done that once in the last couple of years with Jadon Sancho, but that was Ed Woodward. That was a very different group of people that some were at the club at the time that witnessed Matt Judge and Ed Woodward take the wrong advice from the wrong intermediaries and get absolute egg on their face. As much as I don't like the way Man United are run, as much as I condemn them, as much as I am not going to see one or two bits of good business and suddenly go, it's all okay. It isn't. It's going to take years and years of continuous, sustained improvements and quality running of the club for me to change my opinions about how we're run. I don't see them. Having said all that, I don't see this club chasing Frankie de Jong, negotiating heavy, hard, and fast with Barcelona if they didn't believe the player would say yes. Or if they didn't believe they can convince the player to say yes. And I've said this already, him not wanting United right now 100%, it's a Fugazi strawman argument to say, I don't want a player in for that reason. And I get the PTSD. Alexis Sanchez, Angel Di Maria, the two famous examples of United post-Fergie of players that didn't want to join, that we paid big money for, and they flopped. And both admitted within days of being at the club, weeks of being at the club, they knew they didn't want to be there. There is a fundamental difference in this circumstance and in this situation. And I'll tell you what it is. That was two players that wanted or had to leave their respective clubs, but wanted to sign for other teams. They didn't want to be Man United players, but they did or were happy to leave their respective clubs. Angel Di Maria didn't want to leave Real Madrid, but he knew he had to. He wasn't going to get game time because of the players had signed. Alexis Sanchez wanted to leave Arsenal. They neither wanted Man United in any way, in any shape or any form. And it was ridiculous financial incentives to convince them. If I would agree with the Man United fans moaning about why we got to convince anybody, I would agree with that if Frankie de Jong really wanted Man City and he really wanted PSG and they were in for him heavy, and then at the last minute we tripled their wage offer and got him. That's the only time those comparisons to Angel Di Maria and Alexis Sanchez hold any water. They are false equivalents because the situation is different. This is a player who hasn't ruled out Manchester United directly. This is a player that has said that he wants to play for Erik ten Hag again. And what Man United are focusing on, should they get the deal done with Barca, is to say, or they already have said this to Frankie de Jong, look, we believe with you and these other players we're lining up, Darwin Núñez, very close. Timber, very close. Pau Torres could also come in. Ruben Neves, official bid expected very soon. With these players coming in, the squad we already have, the young talent coming through, and with Erik ten Hag, we are getting back in the Champions League. We are going to win these trophies. Now, whether you and I believe that is irrelevant. That is what they're going to convince the player on. They're also going to pay him a very good salary. They're going to pay a very good fee for him. They'll pay his agent good money. There's no doubt about it. Everybody over at HCM, they're going to love this deal. There does appear to be a real distinct possibility because the news keeps coming. Now, whether it's because of the player not being good enough, whether it's because of the finances or a combination of the two, I don't really care for the reasoning. I'm just looking at this from the point of view that this deal is most certainly on. It may be a 5%, a 10%, a 15%, a 20% chance. I want to know what your percentage chance is in the comment sections, but it is certainly a deal that could happen. I want your thoughts and I want your feelings. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the Football Terrace. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless.